Bourbon Street, a carnival of chaos. A human zoo with a 2-drink minimum, and believe me when I tell you those drinks are strong, baby. I've walked those streets many times. It's a street that sticks to your shoes, smells like piss and booze and people. It's a place where inhibitions go to die, and it's no stranger to violence. But usually we're talking about bar fights that got out of hand, not terrorism. It's a street that never sleeps, constantly throbbing with the pulse of revelers celebrating life, or at least trying to drown out the screaming monotony of life in America in cheap beer and bad decisions. But now that street has a new scar, carved deep by a savage act of mass violence. At 3:15 a.m. on New Year's Day, while the city stumbled from one drunken resolution to the next, a 42-year-old man named Shamsuddin Jabbar decided to weaponize a white pickup truck, and 15 lives were cut short, 30 more were maimed. And a street known for its debauchery was baptized in blood. Jabbar's rampage ended in a police shootout that left him laying dead. These people, the victims, that is, had gathered together on the most debaucherous street in America to toast the dawn of a new year. But their lives were snuffed out before they could even see its first sunrise. And what do we know of the man behind the wheel? A U.S. military veteran turned radicalized zealot. Jabbar served in Afghanistan. But I guess at some point since then, he traded the American flag for the ISIS flag, which was found in his truck. His ex-wife sought a restraining order against him back in 2020. His younger brother described him as a caring man, swallowed by the quicksand of extremism. It's the same tired script. A man gets lost in the desert of ideology, and we're left to pick up the bloody pieces of the bodies that he left in his wake. So let's talk about that ideology. Religion, humanity's original excuse to act like a bunch of raging fucking lunatics while pretending it's all part of some divine plan. On the one hand, we have Christianity with its exemplar, Christ, a penniless carpenter preaching charity, forgiveness, and turning the other cheek. On the other hand, we have Islam with Muhammad, a warlord who conquered with a sword and wrote a book about combining religion and politics. Don't get me wrong, I believe in religious freedom. Pray to Jesus, pray to Allah, pray to Zeus, pray to your fucking toaster, I don't care. But let's not kid ourselves about what's in these holy texts. The Bible, with all its contradictions and absurdities, at least gives us a protagonist who wouldn't be caught dead endorsing a suicide bombing. The Quran, however, offers a figure whose life story is practically a manual for building an empire by any means necessary, including violence. Now, this is not about painting all Muslims as extremists. Most emphatically are not. But the foundational texts do matter, and pretending otherwise is intellectual cowardice. For every Christian who falls short of Christ's example, we wag a finger and demand they do better. For every Muslim who rises above Muhammad's legacy of conquest, we commend them for transcending it. But that's kind of telling, isn't it? With Christians, you wish they'd follow their book more closely. With Muslims, you're grateful when they don't. The numbers don't lie either. In 2013, Pew Research found that 62% of Muslims in Palestinian territories believed suicide bombings could be justified. Now, in their situation, I get it. But Egypt, 24%. Jordan, 15%. Even at the low end, Pakistan and Indonesia, it's 3% and 9%, which is still 3% and 9% too fucking high. And let's not forget the charming policies in certain Muslim-majority countries. Death for same-sex relationships, women denied basic autonomy, an entire nation stuck in basically a medieval understanding of human rights. Now, am I saying Christianity gets off scot-free? I mean, it's me, right? No. This is the same faith that brought us the Inquisitions and the witch trials and the mega church pastors with their private jets. But here's a crucial difference. The guy at the center of this story, Christ, doesn't double as a military general, but Muhammad, he does. So what do we do with this bloody mess of a belief system? For starters, we stop pretending that criticism of an ideology is equivalent to hatred of its followers. It's not Islamophobic to point out that the Quran has some deeply troubling shit, just as it's not anti-Christian to call out the Bible for being insane. Thoughtful critique is not bigotry, it's a survival skill. But here's the problem, right? Nuance, that don't sell. Because the right wants to just scream, ban all Muslims, pat itself on the back for being tough on immigration. Never mind that Jabbar was born in America, raised in Red, Texas, served in our military. The left, meanwhile, trips over itself to defend Islam, glossing over the regressive doctrines and societal outcomes that we would never tolerate in any other context. Look, we all have to make our peace with the fact that freedom of belief means that people will sometimes adopt some really fucking shitty ideas. That's the price of liberty. Always has been. But we must confront those ideas with honesty, not reactionary politics or blind defensiveness. Religion, untethered from reason, is a weapon. And whether it's wielded by a Christian bomber or a Muslim truck driver, the results are horrifyingly similar. What happened on Bourbon Street is a reminder that faith, left unchecked, can devolve into fanaticism. The solution isn't to demonize Muslims, but to reject all dogma that places ideology above humanity. When we lose sight of the person behind the belief, we pave the road to pseudo-speciation, which is the first step towards justifying violence against the other. That's what Shamsud Din Jabbar did. So let's not follow his example.
Subscribe, comment, rate, click the link below. You know the drill. Or maybe you don't know the drill. Well, the drill is this. Subscribe, comment, rate, click the link below. Now you know the drill. So just do it, okay? If you do, I'll tell you a joke. Okay. What's the difference between light and hard? You can sleep with a light on,